All right, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And, continue to remember that however it is you're turning up today is completely fine. So notice your external environment, the sounds. There's my voice. Whatever's going on in your home and outside your home. So just be aware of all of those things and then just allow yourself to go inside a little bit. And, just be aware, we're talking about the mind and giving ourselves space and, trying to have virtuous thoughts. And sometimes really what we really need to do is to have some level of awareness about what's going on in the mind. So once we've got that, then we have choices. We can choose. And then we can apply wisdom. Maybe it's not a good idea to talk right now. Maybe I just need to tackle this one later. So just align your body nicely. Notice the breath. Take a nice deep breath in and out as you continue to go inwards. Notice the sensation of the air as you inhale and exhale. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and just release any tension there. And just very slowly move down your body to your feet. Now, once again, notice the sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there. And try not to follow with the mind. Now here we just check in with ourselves. And notice what's there. Are we ruminating? Is somebody living in our head rent-free? Something living in our head rent-free? Maybe just observe, take a step back, be objective. And if there's something in there that's not really serving you very well, you just maybe imagine putting it on a nice little white fluffy cloud and letting it float away. So this as opposed to following the story, continuing the story, imagining the future. And just try and bring ourselves to the present, focusing on the breath, focusing on the soles of the feet. These are all time-tested techniques to keep us grounded. And then very simply, if you're in a situation where your mind is kind of taking off, going on a little travel all its own, you can just kind of stop and take 4 or 5 or 10 breaths, just in and out. And you'll notice your whole nervous system will settle. But just breathing and bring to mind the people of our life, our loved ones, the ones we don't like so much, and our strangers, remembering they can all change place. They're all equal. They all have this wish to be happy and to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity of Buddhahood. So we think with this practice of Vajrasattva, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our minds, so equally we can create positivity. We do have the power. This is our mind. It's not running us. We are running it. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of the body and the speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others. We ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want their future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We turn to this precious Buddha, Vajrasattva. And we're not looking for forgiveness or higher power or someone to take all the stuff away. We're looking for some methods to be able to deal with our own business ourselves. So we imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long, they're shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of our life. He has a sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, and this represents wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, and this represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we just have compassion for them because the harm they've caused you is going to result in suffering sometime down the track, sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And this arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dita me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawa Siddhi me Piyatsa Sawa Kama Sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe, Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita, Dita me boa, Sitokaya me boa, Sipokaya me boa, Anarakta me boa, Sawa Siddhi me Piyatsa Sawa Kama Sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs and getting other people, to come along and agree with you. Imagine that all the gossip and, it all is just purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dira meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shriam kuruhum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe, ambhadrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita, Dira meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Ambhadrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So, in a similar fashion as when you walk into a dark room, you flick on the switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness. Just imagine, same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness and depression and anxiety, resentment, jealousy, grudges, bitterness, all of this instantly dispelled as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe, Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anarakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa Sitokaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa Situkaya meboa Sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa Sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Humpe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. They're just gone. They're finished. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this is just a very subtle thing here. So you imagine light and nectar pouring into you, filling you completely and just eradicating all this kind of very subtle imprints of negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sabasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, dita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sabasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream, and even the subtlest obscurations to enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in this purification process, and it's a really crucial step. And this is this determination to not harm with your body, your speech, and your mind. And without this, you're going to keep doing the same old things over and over again. You know, we just have these habit energies. We just kind of without thinking. And this determination, this aspiration to not harm is like a beacon that guides our body and speech and our mind in new directions. So rejoice in your efforts. Don't ever forget to rejoice in your efforts, and then think of something you're working on and rejoice in that too, that you've been aware enough to notice something that doesn't really serve you, that could be worked on. So Vajrasattva, imagine, is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next Rinpoche, just a little bit, would say a little bit about emptiness. So imagine an emptiness. There is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created from doing this practice this evening to all those people of our life. And I don't think Mary's here, so just send a thought to her, send some love out to her. I think her mother is very sick, maybe passing. and to Mary and all her family. It's always a difficult transition for everybody when someone who's been part of your life for such a long time then is no longer there. And there's just any other people that you know of, just send them love and light. And then we do our Manjushri. Where are we up to? Oh, you've highlighted the ones we've done. Oh, that's a smart idea. His voice melodious, like that of a Brahma, completely filling all the triple world, replied as follows to the Lord of Secrets, to Vajrapani, strongest of the strong, that you abounding in supreme compassion and aiming to assist all living beings, are willing and prepared to hear from me this evil quelling, purifying chanting. The chanting of the name, so filled with meaning, of Manjushri's embodiment of wisdom. How truly excellent, O Vajradhara, how excellent of you, O Vajrapani. See, we're doing it. We're up to verse 21 already. Amazing. So we probably wouldn't have done it on our own. Anyway, here we go. Lots of love, everybody. And enjoy your retreat tomorrow and on the weekend. And who's Venerable Rabina is leading meditation tomorrow morning? Is she? Okay. Hopefully I'll wake up in time this time. Tuesday I didn't. All right. Lots of love, everybody. Good night. Thank you for hosting. And I will see you tomorrow.